Hello, and welcome to this Divine Slumber Bible bedtime story. What if the time you are living in right now is not the true time at all? What if every calendar you follow, every date you trust, every passing day you count is only a shadow of something far older, far more sacred, a rhythm once perfectly aligned with heaven itself? Tonight, as the world grows quiet around you, allow yourself to gently step away from all that is loud, hurried, and demanding. The night is calm now. The air is still. And above you, the stars rest in their silent places, shining softly like ancient witnesses to a time long forgotten. Feel the comfort of your bed beneath you, steady, warm, and welcoming. Let your body sink into it, releasing the weight of the day. Your shoulders soften, your jaw loosens. Your breath begins to slow, becoming deeper, calmer, more peaceful with every passing moment. There is nothing you need to chase tonight, nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to understand. You are here, and that is enough. Welcome to this Divine Slumber Bible bedtime story. Tonight's journey is called The Lost Calendar of Heaven, the Book of Jubilees. It is a story that reaches back beyond memory, beyond history, into a time when humanity once lived in perfect harmony with the rhythm of God. A time when every day, every season, every sacred moment was not controlled by human hands, but guided by a divine order, set in motion at the very beginning of creation. Because time is not just something we measure. Time is a gift, a sacred gift given by God, a rhythm woven into the fabric of existence, a quiet, steady heartbeat that once connected heaven and earth. But somewhere along the way, that rhythm was lost, forgotten, replaced by something faster, louder, and far more restless. And tonight, we gently remember it again. As you listen, allow this story to carry you. Let it ease the weight of your thoughts, soften the edges of your worries, and guide you into a place of deep and peaceful rest. A place where anxiety fades into the background, where your mind grows quiet, and where your soul feels safe again. You don't have to hold on to every word. You don't have to follow every detail. Simply listen and rest. If you find comfort here, you can return to this space again, letting these gentle words guide you night after night into stillness, into calm, into sleep. Now, take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. Feel your body growing heavier, your thoughts becoming softer. And in this very moment, open your heart and receive the peace that is coming. I invite you now to make yourself completely comfortable. Gently adjust your position, allowing your body to settle in a way that feels natural and effortless. If you need to shift your pillow, do so slowly, placing it just where your head can rest without strain. Pull your blanket a little closer, letting its warmth wrap around you like a quiet embrace. If there is light around you, you may soften it, or let the darkness come, gentle and calm, like a veil of rest descending over the world. There is no rush here, only stillness, only peace. Now, bring your attention to your breath, not to control it, but simply to notice it. Breathe in slowly through your nose and let it out gently through your mouth. Again, breathe in, filling your lungs softly, and release, letting the air leave you without effort. Feel the rhythm beginning to form, slow, steady, like waves rolling onto a quiet shore. Breathe in and out. With each breath, allow your body to grow heavier, more relaxed, more at ease. Now, gently bring your awareness to the top of your head. Notice any tension you may be holding there, any tightness, any subtle strain, and simply allow it to soften. Let it melt away, like mist fading in the morning light. Let that relaxation flow downward to your forehead. Smooth it now. Release the lines of the day. To your eyes, let them rest deeply in their sockets, heavy, peaceful, as though they are being gently held in place by the quiet of the night. To your jaw, unclench it softly. Allow your tongue to rest, your teeth slightly apart. No effort, no tension. You are safe. Let that truth settle within you. Now let the relaxation drift down into your neck, releasing any weight you've been carrying, any burdens that no longer need to stay. Your shoulders follow, dropping slowly, as though something invisible is lifting the weight from them. Breathe in and out. With every exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper into rest. Let the softness move down your arms, through your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, all the way to your hands. Let your fingers rest, loose, still, gently curled or open, whatever feels most natural. There is no need to hold anything now, nothing to grasp, nothing to control. Now bring your attention to your chest. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Steady, calm, unhurried. Your heart beats quietly within you, faithful and constant, a rhythm that continues without your effort, a quiet reminder that you are sustained, that you are cared for. Let your chest soften. Let your breathing deepen. And with each breath, feel a growing sense of peace. Allow this calm to move into your stomach. Release any tension there, any tightness, any unease. Let it dissolve. Your body knows how to rest. It remembers. You are simply allowing it to return to that place. Now your lower back, your hips. Let them sink fully into the surface beneath you, supported, held, completely at ease. Your legs grow heavy now, your thighs, your knees, your calves, all the way down to your feet. Let your feet relax, your toes soft and still, as though the earth itself is gently holding them in place. Your whole body is now at rest. Still, quiet, peaceful. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Feel the rhythm of your breath, steady, unchanging, like something ancient, something that has always been. God is watching over you. You are safe. You are not alone. Let those words settle gently into your mind, not as something you must believe, but as something you can rest in, like a soft place to land. If any thoughts begin to rise, let them come and let them go. Do not follow them. Do not hold on to them. Simply watch them drift away like clouds moving across a vast, open sky. Return always to your breath, to this moment, to this quiet space where nothing is required of you. Breathe in and out, slowly, gently, peacefully. Now imagine, if you will, that with every breath you take, you are aligning with something deeper, a rhythm beyond yourself, a rhythm that has been present since the beginning of creation, a rhythm set in motion by God Himself. Steady, perfect, unbroken. You do not need to understand it. You only need to rest within it. Feel it now, in your breath, in the stillness of your body, in the quiet of the night surrounding you. You are held within this rhythm, carried by it, sustained by it. And as you continue to breathe slowly, gently, effortlessly, allow yourself to drift even deeper into stillness, into peace, into rest. Breathe slowly now, and let your mind drift gently as the story begins to unfold. The mountain stood in silence, vast and ancient, rising from the desert floor like a dark shadow against the sky. Mount Sinai was not like any other place upon the earth. It was a place where heaven and earth seemed to lean toward one another, where the unseen felt close, where the air itself carried a quiet, trembling weight. Below, at the foot of the mountain, the people of Israel waited, their tents stretched across the sand like scattered embers, faint in the dim light. They did not speak loudly, they did not move freely. A holy stillness had fallen over them, pressing gently yet firmly upon every heart. They could feel it. Something was happening above, something beyond understanding. And the mountain burned. Not with the crackling fire of wood or flame, but with a light so pure, so radiant that it seemed to come from within the fabric of the sky itself. Smoke rose in slow spiraling columns, thick and deep, like incense offered from the earth to heaven. Thunder rolled softly at first, then deeper, like the steady heartbeat of something eternal. And into this sacred place, one man walked. Moses. He stood at the base of the mountain for a moment, his staff resting in his hand, his breath steady but deep. The path before him was steep, jagged, wrapped in cloud and fire. But he did not turn away, because he had been called. Step by step he began to climb. The ground beneath his feet shifted from sand to stone, from warmth to cold. The air grew thinner, quieter, yet filled with a strange and distant sound. It was not wind, not quite, but something like a whisper woven into the breeze, a sound like voices singing, far away, ancient and layered, rising from the stones themselves. Moses listened, but did not stop. Higher he climbed, and with each step the world below grew smaller, softer, until it seemed like a distant memory fading into the horizon. The clouds thickened around him now, wrapping him in a veil of white and silver. The light grew brighter, yet not harsh, not blinding, but alive. It moved gently, like something breathing, something aware. His heart beat faster, not with fear alone, but with awe. Breathe slowly now, and imagine yourself there, walking beside him step by step, into the presence of something holy. At last, Moses reached the summit. The clouds parted, slowly, as though opening a hidden doorway, and there, in the center of a light brighter than the sun, yet softer than the glow of dawn, stood a being unlike anything Moses had ever seen. The angel of the presence. He was tall, beyond measure, yet not distant. His form shimmered with a quiet radiance, as though woven from light itself. His robes flowed around him like strands of starlight, each thread glimmering softly. Great wings arched from his shoulders, vast and still, their edges touched with gold that flickered like the first light of morning. His face was both terrible and kind. There was a depth within it, an ancient knowing, a wisdom that reached back before the foundations of the world. And yet, there was gentleness, a calm that invited rather than frightened. In his hands he held something, not stone, not parchment, but tablets of light. They glowed softly, their surface alive with movement. Letters shimmered across them, shifting and flowing like living things. Each word seemed to breathe, to carry meaning beyond sound, beyond language. Moses fell to his knees. His strength left him, not in weakness, but in reverence. His hands pressed against the cold stone beneath him, his head bowed low. He could not speak. For a moment, there was only silence. And then, the angel spoke. His voice was deep, like many waters flowing together, yet clear and steady, carrying a peace that settled into the very center of Moses' being. Moses, servant of the Most High, do not be afraid. The words did not echo. They simply were, filling the space around him and within him. Moses drew in a breath, slow, trembling. "My Lord," he whispered, barely able to form the sound. The angel stepped closer, and as he moved, the air itself seemed to hum gently, like the quiet rhythm of a great and unseen heart. "The Lord has heard the cries of his people," the angel said. "He has seen their suffering, and he has remembered his covenant." Moses lifted his head slightly, his eyes filled with wonder and something deeper, something like longing. "I have come," the angel continued, "not only to give you the law that will guide them, but to reveal what has been hidden since the beginning." The tablets in his hands glowed brighter. "This is the memory of heaven." Moses felt his breath catch. "The memory?" he whispered. The angel inclined his head. "Written upon these tablets is the story of creation, the unfolding of time, the rhythm by which all things were made, and by which all things shall return." The light around them pulsed softly, like a living presence. "You are to write, Moses." The words settled gently, yet carried great weight. "You are to write what you are shown, the works of creation, the division of time, the covenants of your fathers, and the sacred rhythm of heaven itself." Moses looked upon the tablets, his eyes wide, his heart trembling. "How long, my Lord?" he asked softly. The angel's gaze remained steady, filled with quiet compassion. 40 days and 40 nights. The wind moved softly around them, carrying a stillness deeper than silence. "You will neither eat nor drink, for you will be sustained by the presence of the Lord." Moses bowed his head again, this time not in fear, but in surrender. "I am ready," he whispered. The angel reached out and placed his hand upon Moses' shoulder. At that touch, something changed. Warmth flowed through him, steady and deep, not his own, yet filling every part of him. Strength returned, but not the strength of the body, the strength of peace, of purpose, of knowing he was not alone. "Rise, Moses, son of Amram, and write." The clouds above them opened wider, and from the heavens a light descended. Not harsh, not blinding, but full, complete, containing within it every color, every moment, every breath that had ever been and ever would be. Moses rose slowly. The stylus was placed into his hand, and as he held it, he understood. He would not merely write words. he would carry a memory, a rhythm, a truth that had never been lost, only forgotten. And so, in the presence of heaven, on a mountain wrapped in fire and light, Moses began to write. Breathe slowly now, and let the stillness deepen. The light around Moses did not fade. It grew steadier, calmer, like a quiet flame that no wind could touch. The mountain no longer trembled with thunder as before, but rested in a sacred hush, as though all of creation was listening. The angel stood beside him, silent for a moment, watching as Moses wrote, each word flowing not from effort but from revelation. The stylus moved gently, steadily, as though guided by something deeper than thought. Then the angel lifted his hand, and as his fingers traced the air, the light shifted. Before Moses, the space itself seemed to open, like the surface of still water touched by a single drop. Ripples of light spread outward, and within them, images began to form. Soft at first, like distant reflections, then clearer. Moses saw the sky, not as he had known it, but as it truly was, vast, ordered, alive with motion. The sun rose, not hurried, not delayed, but perfectly on time. It moved across the heavens in a path so precise, so unwavering, that it felt less like movement and more like a promise being kept. He saw the moon, waxing and waning, gentle and luminous, and beyond it, the stars, countless, each one placed with intention, each one moving in silent obedience to a greater design. And beneath it all, he heard something, a sound so soft, so steady, that it was almost not a sound at all, like the ticking of a great cosmic clock, or the slow, patient beating of a heart. "Moses," the angel said, his voice calm, carrying through the light like a quiet river, "what you are about to see has been hidden from mankind for generations." Moses lifted his eyes, his breath slow, his heart open. It is the knowledge that was given in the beginning, the rhythm that governed creation before it was forgotten. The images shifted. The sky folded inward, and before Moses appeared a circle of light, perfect, unbroken, glowing with a gentle radiance. It hovered in the air, steady, complete. "The calendar of heaven," the angel said. Moses leaned forward slightly, his eyes tracing its form. "The true measure of time, ordained by God himself." The circle began to divide, not randomly, but with precision. Lines of light moved across it, separating it into equal parts, each section glowing with its own quiet brilliance. "The year of heaven," the angel continued, "is not as the years of men." His voice carried no judgment, only truth. "It does not follow confusion, nor does it bend to the will of kings. It is fixed, complete, and perfect." Moses watched, his mind still, his spirit attentive. "It contains 364 days. The number seemed to settle into the air, simple yet profound. Moses frowned gently, not in doubt, but in wonder. "My Lord," he said softly, "but the moon, the months, the cycles we see." The angel raised his hand gently, and the images responded. The moon appeared again, moving through its phases, waxing, waning, shifting in brightness and shadow. "The moon was given for signs," the angel said, "and to mark the months, but not to govern the year." The circle of light remained steady, unchanged, untouched by the moon's motion. Those who follow the moon as their master have stepped away from the greater rhythm. Moses felt something stir within him, a quiet understanding, like a memory awakening. The angel pointed once more to the circle. Look closely. The circle divided again into 4 equal parts. Each section glowed brighter, forming a perfect balance. The year is divided into 4 seasons, the angel said, and each season contains 91 days. The numbers moved like light across the air, aligning, fitting together without strain, without excess. 91 days, Moses whispered. The angel nodded. 13 weeks in each season. Now the pattern became clear. Moses could see it, not just with his eyes, but with something deeper. 52 weeks, he said quietly. Exactly, the angel replied. The circle pulsed softly, complete, without remainder, without imbalance. A year that divides evenly, without confusion, without adjustment, without the need for correction. Moses felt a quiet awe settle over him. In this rhythm there was peace. In this order there was rest. In this calendar, the angel continued, every Sabbath falls on the same day, every year. The image shifted again. Days began to move across the circle, but not chaotically, not drifting. Each 7th day shone brighter, steady, unchanging. No uncertainty, no shifting, no loss. Moses watched as the pattern repeated, again and again, perfectly aligned. And the festivals, the angel said softly, are fixed within this rhythm, anchored in time, as they were meant to be. Images appeared, gentle and symbolic. A lamb prepared at the appointed time, fields of harvest gathered in fullness. A quiet day of atonement, still and sacred. Shelters beneath open skies filled with gratitude. All placed, the angel said, at their proper moments, not moved, not altered, but held within the design of heaven. Moses' eyes filled with quiet wonder. But my Lord, he asked slowly, if this is the true calendar, why did the nations not follow it? The light dimmed slightly, not fading but softening, as though touched by sorrow. The circle of light trembled, just a little. Because, the angel said, it was forgotten. The perfect circle began to fracture. Lines broke, sections shifted, the balance lost. Days stretched, others shortened, cycles overlapped and collided. The harmony dissolved into something uneven, something unstable. When mankind turned away from the rhythm of heaven, time became something else. Moses felt a quiet heaviness in his chest. A tool, the angel continued, something to control, to manipulate, to reshape according to desire. The broken fragments spun slowly out of alignment. The Sabbaths no longer aligned, the seasons drifted, the appointed times were lost. Moses lowered his gaze. And the people, he whispered. They wandered, the angel said gently, not only across the earth, but within time itself. Silence settled between them. Then, slowly, the angel lifted his hand once more. The fractured pieces began to draw back together. One by one, they returned, aligning, restoring, reforming the perfect circle. The rhythm was never destroyed, Moses. The light grew steady again. It was only forgotten. The circle shone now, whole, peaceful, eternal. And now, it is given again. Moses felt a warmth rise within him, not overwhelming, but sure. A sense of purpose, quiet, unshakable. You are to write it, the angel said. Not as something new, but as something remembered. Moses nodded slowly. I will write, my Lord. The stylus moved again in his hand, steady, guided. The circle of light hovered above him like a silent witness, like a promise. This is the rhythm of heaven, the angel said softly. the heartbeat of creation, the measure of time as God intended it. Breathe slowly now, and let that rhythm settle within you, steady, calm, unbroken, as the mountain remains still and Moses continues to write under the quiet watch of heaven. Breathe slowly now, and let your mind drift deeper still. The light around Moses shifted once more, softening, deepening, as though the very fabric of time itself was unfolding before him. The mountain faded from his awareness, not disappearing, but becoming distant, like something remembered rather than seen. The angel stood beside him, quiet, watchful, and when he spoke again, his voice carried something ancient, something full of memory. Now, Moses, I will show you the beginning. The words settled gently, like the first drop of rain upon still water, and before them, the light opened. At first, there was nothing, no sky, no earth, no sound, only a vast and endless deep, wrapped in darkness so complete it seemed to have no edge, no boundary, no form. But even there, something moved, softly, gently, like a breath. The Spirit of God, the angel said, his voice barely above a whisper. Moses watched, his own breath slowing, matching the quiet rhythm before him. The darkness was not empty, it was waiting. And then God spoke. Let there be light. The words did not echo, they did not fade, they simply were. And light came. Not the light of the sun, for the sun had not yet been made, not the flicker of flame nor the glow of fire. This was a different light, pure, radiant, alive. It poured into the darkness like a river, filling every space, touching every unseen corner until the void itself seemed to awaken. Moses felt his heart stir. The light did not rush, it did not overwhelm, it simply existed, steady, complete, perfect. And God saw that the light was good, the angel said softly. The light and the darkness began to separate, not in conflict, but in order, each taking its place. He called the light day, and the darkness night. And so, the first day began. Breathe slowly now, and let that light settle gently in your mind. The vision shifted. The light remained, but something new began to form. The waters, vast and deep, moved slowly, rising and falling without boundary. Then again, God spoke, and the waters responded. They divided. Some rose upward, lifted into the heights, forming something unseen yet present, and others remained below, deep and steady. Between them, an expanse appeared. Clear, open, endless. The firmament, the angel said. The heavens. Moses watched as the space between the waters stretched wide, like a great veil, separating what is above from what is below. This was not emptiness, it was structure, it was order. And so, the second day passed. The vision moved again, gently, like a page turning. The waters below began to gather, slowly, steadily, drawn together by a quiet command. They pulled back, revealing something hidden beneath. Land, solid, steady, rising from the depths. Mountains formed, their peaks reaching upward. Valleys stretched wide, soft and open. The ground itself seemed to breathe as though awakening. He called the dry land earth, and the gathered waters seas. And then something beautiful happened. The earth responded. From the soil, life began to rise. At first small, almost unseen, then more and more. Green shoots pushed through the ground, spreading like a gentle wave, covering the land in quiet color. Trees grew, tall and rooted, their branches reaching outward, their leaves shimmering in the soft light. Fruits formed, seeds held within them, life within life. Everything moving in harmony, everything complete. Moses felt a quiet joy within him. This was not chaos. This was intention. And so, the third day passed. Breathe slowly now. Rest here for a moment. The vision shifted again. Now the sky above the earth, once empty, began to change. God spoke once more, and light took form. The great light appeared first, the sun. It rose into the sky, steady, radiant, pouring warmth and brightness over the earth below. Then came the lesser light, the moon, soft, gentle, reflecting the greater light, bringing calm to the night. And beyond them, the stars, countless, scattered across the heavens like seeds of light, each one placed with purpose, each one moving in silent obedience. They were given, the angel said, to mark the days, the seasons, and the years. Moses understood now. This was the beginning of time, as it was meant to be measured, not by confusion, but by order, not by control, but by design. And so, the fourth day passed. The vision continued, flowing like a quiet river. The waters stirred again. Movement returned, but now it was alive. Creatures filled the seas, small fish moving in shimmering patterns, great creatures, vast and powerful, gliding through the depths. The waters were no longer silent. They were filled with life. Above, the sky opened. Birds took flight. Their wings caught the light. Their voices filled the air, each one moving freely, yet within the rhythm of creation. And God blessed them, the angel said, and told them to be fruitful and multiply. Life continued to expand, to grow, to fill the spaces it had been given. And so, the fifth day passed. Now, the earth itself began to move. From the land, creatures emerged, animals of every kind, some strong, some gentle, some swift, some slow. Each one formed with care, each one belonging. Moses watched, his breath soft, his heart open. And then, everything became still. The air paused. The earth quieted. Even the light seemed to wait. God spoke again. Let us make man in our image. Moses felt something shift deep within him. This moment was different. From the dust of the ground, a form was shaped. Carefully, intentionally, not rushed, not random, but crafted. A body, complete, yet still. And then, God breathed. The breath entered the dust, and the dust became life. Adam opened his eyes. Moses watched in awe. The first human, standing in the light of creation, alive with the breath of God. And God blessed him, the angel said softly. Dominion was given, purpose was given, and the earth itself seemed to recognize him. The animals drew near, not in fear, but in peace. And so, the sixth day passed. Breathe slowly now. Let your body grow heavier, your thoughts softer. The vision changed one final time. The movement slowed, the rhythm softened. God rested. not from weariness, but in completion. The work was finished. The world, whole, balanced, alive, rested in perfect harmony. And God blessed the seventh day, the angel said, his voice filled with quiet reverence, and made it holy. Moses felt a deep peace settle within him. This day was different. It was stillness. It was fullness. It was rest. A sacred pause woven into time itself. Every seventh day, the angel continued, is to be remembered. A return to this moment. A joining in the rhythm of creation. Moses bowed his head, tears falling softly. He understood now. Time was not just movement. It was meaning. It was not something to chase. It was something to enter, to rest within. The vision slowly faded, the light softening, returning to stillness. The mountain came back into awareness, the quiet presence of the angel beside him, unchanged, steady, eternal. This, the angel said gently, is the week of creation. Moses lifted his stylus once more, and he wrote. As the fire on the mountain burned on and the rhythm of heaven continued, unbroken, eternal, and full of peace. Breathe slowly now, and let the stillness carry you further. The light around Moses softened once more, no longer vast and cosmic as before, but warm, intimate, like the glow of evening resting gently upon the earth. The great movements of creation faded into something quieter, something closer, something deeply human. Before him, a garden appeared, not distant, not unreachable, but alive, present, filled with a beauty that felt almost familiar. This, Moses, the angel said softly, is the beginning of man's first Jubilee. The garden stretched out in every direction, vibrant, overflowing with life. Rivers moved like strands of light across the land, their waters clear and gentle, whispering as they flowed over smooth stones. Trees rose tall and graceful, their branches heavy with fruit that seemed to glow from within, not harsh, but softly, like a quiet promise. The air itself was different here. It was calm, full, untouched by fear, untouched by striving. And in the center of it all, two figures walked, Adam and Eve. They moved slowly, side by side, their steps light upon the earth. There was no weight in their bodies, no burden in their minds. A gentle radiance seemed to rest upon them, not something they wore, but something that flowed from within them. They were clothed in light, the angel said, his voice quiet, filled with memory. Moses watched, his heart stirring with something he could not name. Peace. Not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind that simply is. "How long, my Lord?" Moses whispered. "How long did they live in this place?" The angel's gaze softened, as though remembering something both beautiful and fragile. 7 years, Moses. The numbers settled gently into the air. 1 complete cycle, 1 week of years. A perfect beginning. The garden seemed to breathe around them, alive yet still. In those years, the angel continued, they walked with God. Moses lifted his head slightly. "With God?" he asked. The angel nodded. In the cool of the day, when the light softened and the air grew still, he walked among them. The image shifted. Moses saw it now. The garden bathed in a golden light, shadows stretching softly across the ground, and there, moving gently among the trees, was a presence. Not distant, not hidden, but near. Adam and Eve walked beside him, not in fear, not in awe alone, but in closeness, in trust, in something like quiet friendship. They knew his voice, the angel said, and they were not afraid. Moses felt a deep longing rise within him. In the first year, Adam learned. God brought the creatures to him one by one, and Adam gave them names. Each word he spoke carried meaning, understanding, as though the knowledge had been placed within him from the beginning. Moses saw Adam kneeling beside a great animal, his hand resting gently upon its back. No fear, no distance, only harmony. In the second year, Adam was taught time. The calendar of heaven, the angel said softly. The sky above the garden came into focus. The sun moved steadily, marking the days. The stars turned in quiet order, and Adam watched and learned. He was shown the rhythm, the angel continued, the Sabbaths, the seasons, the appointed times. Moses' breath slowed. So the calendar was known even then? Yes, the angel replied. It was given at the beginning, when heaven and earth were still one. The vision deepened. Adam marked the days, not with confusion, not with guesswork, but with clarity. Each seventh day he rested, not because he was weary, but because it was holy. The Sabbath, a return each week to stillness, to presence, to God. And the years passed, gently, quietly, like a song that never rushed. 7 years, a complete cycle, a first Jubilee in its simplest form, not yet 50 years, but a perfect beginning, a pattern set in motion. Moses watched Adam and Eve move through the garden, tending, walking, resting, living within a rhythm that required nothing more than trust. This, the angel said, is how it was meant to be. No striving, no fear, no separation, only harmony. But then something shifted. So subtle at first, it almost went unnoticed. The light changed just slightly. The air grew still, but in a different way. Not peaceful, but waiting. Moses felt it, a quiet tension entering the scene. "What is this?" he whispered. The angel's voice lowered. "The 8th year." The garden remained unchanged in form, but something beneath it had begun to move. Moses saw the tree. At the center, still, silent, bearing fruit that shimmered softly, yet held a strange weight. And near it, something else, a presence, coiled, watching. The serpent. Its form was subtle, its voice quiet. Yet it carried something deeper, something unsettling. It spoke, not loudly, not forcefully, but gently, persuasively. Did God really say? The words slipped into the stillness like a ripple in calm water. Eve stood before the tree, her face thoughtful, uncertain. Moses watched, unable to move, unable to speak. Something had entered the rhythm, not chaos, not yet, but doubt. A small shift, a question. And in that moment, the perfect harmony began to tremble. The fruit gleamed softly, beautiful, inviting. And slowly, gently, Eve reached out. Moses felt his breath catch. "Do not," he whispered, though no sound could reach her. Her fingers closed around the fruit, and she ate. The moment was quiet. No thunder, no fire, just a single act in a silent garden. Adam stood beside her, his face filled with something deeper than confusion, something like knowing and sorrow. And he chose. He took the fruit, and he ate. Everything changed. The light that had clothed them flickered and faded. The air grew cold. The garden, though still beautiful, no longer felt the same. A distance had formed, a separation. Moses felt it deeply, like a quiet breaking within his own heart. On that day, the angel said softly, the rhythm was broken. Not destroyed, but fractured. Time, once steady, once aligned with heaven, began to drift. The Sabbath remained, but man no longer rested in it the same way. The calendar remained, but it would soon be forgotten. Adam and Eve stood, no longer radiant, no longer at peace. They covered themselves, not out of need, but out of shame. And when the voice of God came, walking once more in the garden, they hid. Moses lowered his head, tears falling quietly. They lost it, he whispered. The angel placed a gentle hand upon his shoulder. They stepped out of the rhythm, he said, but the rhythm did not leave them. The garden faded slowly, the light dimmed, but the memory remained. The first Jubilee lasted 7 years, the angel continued. A perfect cycle, a complete beginning. Moses lifted his head slightly. And after? The angel's gaze was steady. After, the long story of return began. Moses closed his eyes for a moment, breathing slowly, feeling the weight and the quiet hope beneath it. And then he wrote. As the fire on the mountain burned on, and the rhythm of heaven, though forgotten, continued, waiting to be remembered once more. Breathe slowly now, and let the peace remain with you. The warmth of the garden fades gently, like the last light of evening slipping beyond the horizon. The air, once filled with stillness and harmony, begins to change, not suddenly, not violently, but slowly, like a quiet shadow stretching across the earth. Moses sat upon the mountain, the stylus resting lightly in his hand, his heart still carrying the weight of what he had seen. The loss, the breaking, the quiet sorrow of a world that had stepped out of rhythm. The angel stood beside him, silent for a moment, his presence steady, yet touched with something deeper now, something heavier. Then the light shifted, no longer warm like Eden, no longer soft like creation. It grew dimmer, colder, and before Moses, the sky opened. What you are about to see, the angel said quietly, is the next turning, the moment when the world moved further from the rhythm of heaven. Moses lifted his eyes, his breath slow, cautious, and he saw them. At first only shapes, moving within the clouds, descending slowly from the heights of heaven. Then clearer. Figures, tall, radiant, powerful. Yet something about them was different. These, the angel said, his voice low, are the watchers. Watchers. They were sent to observe, to guard, to guide mankind, to ensure that the children of Adam walked in the ways of the Lord. The figures descended further, their forms becoming more defined. They were beautiful, in a way that was not human, their presence carrying authority, knowledge, and power. But within them there was unrest, a subtle disturbance like a ripple beneath still water. Moses felt it immediately. A tension, a longing, not aligned with heaven but pulling away from it. What happened to them? Moses whispered. The angel's gaze turned toward the descending figures. They saw, he said softly. The vision shifted. The earth below came into view, filled now with people, generations growing, spreading across the land, and among them, the daughters of men. They moved with grace, with life, with beauty that was simple, human, yet radiant in its own way. The watchers looked upon them, and something within them changed. Desire. Not the gentle, ordered love of creation, but something deeper, something unbalanced, something that pulled them beyond the boundary they had been given. They were not sent to take, the angel said. They were sent to watch. The figures gathered now, standing upon a great mountain, Mount Hermon. Its peak was covered in shadow, its air heavy with something unspoken. Moses watched, his heart uneasy. There were many of them, 200. They stood together, forming a circle, their faces set, their expressions filled with something firm, something irreversible. At their center, one stepped forward. Samyaza. Samyaza, his voice rang out, not loud, but filled with conviction. "If we do this," he said, "we must all do it together, for I fear the judgment that will come." The others listened, silent yet resolute. "Let us bind ourselves with an oath," he continued, "so that none will turn back." Moses felt a chill pass through him. An oath, not one of obedience but of defiance. The watchers raised their hands and they swore, not lightly, not carelessly, but with full knowledge, binding themselves to a choice that could not be undone. The air trembled, the mountain seemed to hold its breath, and in that moment, something broke again, not in the earth, but in heaven. "They chose," the angel said quietly. The watchers descended, not as guardians, but as something else. They walked among humanity, no longer unseen, no longer distant. And they took wives. Moses turned his gaze, his heart heavy. From those unions, something new was born, something never meant to exist. The Nephilim. Nephilim. They were vast, towering, their presence overwhelming, their strength unmatched, their hunger unending. Moses watched as they walked the earth, their steps shaking the ground, their voices echoing like distant thunder. "They devoured," the angel said, his voice filled with sorrow. "The earth could not sustain them, and so they consumed everything. Fields, animals, resources, and when those were gone, they turned upon mankind." Moses closed his eyes briefly, the weight of it pressing upon him. "This was not all," the angel continued. The vision shifted again. Now the watchers stood among men, teaching. But what they taught was not the rhythm of heaven, it was something else. Weapons were forged, secrets were revealed, knowledge was given but twisted, altered, misused. And then, time. One of them stepped forward. Azazel. Azazel. He lifted his hand toward the sky. "You have been following the wrong rhythm," he said. The people listened, drawn in, uncertain, searching. "The sun does not rule alone," he continued. "Look to the moon. See how it changes, how it moves freely, how it cannot be fixed." Moses felt a deep unease. The people began to watch the moon, to count its cycles, to adjust, to shift, to alter. The perfect rhythm began to fracture. "They were taught to change time," the angel said, "to bend it, to reshape it, to take control of what was never meant to be controlled." The image of the perfect circle, once whole, once steady, returned briefly in Moses' mind. And then it shattered. Days drifted, seasons misaligned, Sabbaths lost their place, confusion entered where peace once lived. And with it, the angel said, came separation. Moses felt it deeply now, not just as something he saw, but as something he understood. When time is broken, everything begins to drift. The vision darkened, the earth filled with violence, with noise, with unrest. The cries of humanity rose, not in harmony, but in suffering. And heaven heard. What did God do? Moses whispered. The angel's voice grew firm. He judged. The sky split open once more, but not with soft light, with authority. 4 great angels descended. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. They moved with purpose, without hesitation. The watchers were seized, bound, not destroyed, but cast down into darkness, into the depths, held until a time yet to come. The Nephilim fell. The earth trembled. And then the waters came. Moses saw it, rising, covering, cleansing. The flood. The world washed clean. The corruption swept away. Silence returned, but not the same silence as before. A silence after loss. A silence after judgment. Moses bowed his head, his breath slow, heavy. And the calendar? He asked quietly. The angel's voice softened again. It remained, but only in memory, carried by the faithful. A pause, then gently. It was never destroyed, Moses. Only forgotten. The mountain returned to stillness. The light steadied. The angel stood beside him once more, calm, present, unshaken. Moses lifted his stylus, and he wrote. As the fire on the mountain burned on, and the rhythm of heaven, though hidden, continued to wait, patient, eternal, unbroken. Breathe slowly now, and let your body sink deeper into stillness. The echoes of the storm, the rising waters, the trembling of the earth, all begin to fade, like distant memories dissolving into the quiet of the night. What remains is not chaos, not fear, but a soft and sacred silence. A silence that comes after everything has been washed clean. A silence that carries within it the first breath of something new. Before Moses, the vision opens once more, but this time it is gentle. The waters that once covered the earth now stretch wide and calm, no longer violent, no longer rising. They move slowly, almost tenderly, as though they too are at rest. The sky above is pale and clear, holding a soft light that feels untouched, renewed, like the beginning of a new day that is not yet fully awakened. And there, rising quietly from the retreating waters, rests the ark. Great and still, weathered by time, yet unbroken. It leans gently upon the slopes of Mount Ararat, steady and unmoved, as though placed there by a careful hand. Its wood is darkened, marked by the long journey through judgment, but it holds firm, a vessel not only of survival, but of preservation. The door opens slowly, and a man steps out. Noah. He does not rush. His feet touch the earth with quiet reverence, as though he knows that this ground is not the same ground he once knew. It is softer now, newly revealed, still carrying the memory of the waters that covered it. He pauses, looking out across the empty land, his breath steady, his eyes filled not with fear, but with something deeper, a quiet understanding. The world is new again. The wind moves gently across the earth, carrying with it a faint scent of life waiting to return. The silence is no longer heavy. It is open, spacious, like a blank page waiting to be written. And in that silence, Noah kneels. He lowers himself slowly, placing his hands upon the ground, bowing his head. His voice rises, not loudly, but with deep sincerity. "My Lord, you have preserved us." The words seem to settle into the earth itself, and for a moment, nothing moves. Then, the light changes, soft, warm, familiar. An angel appears before him, clothed not in overwhelming brilliance, but in a quiet radiance that feels both powerful and gentle. In his hands he carries something that glows softly, something alive with meaning. Tablets of light. Noah lifts his eyes, and though he is weary, though he has seen the end of a world, there is clarity within him, a steadiness. He bows his head again. "You have been faithful," the angel says. Noah does not answer immediately. His breath rises and falls slowly, like the rhythm he has held on to even through the storm. "I have remembered," he says at last. And this is true. For even as the waters rose, even as the world dissolved into chaos, Noah did not abandon the rhythm. He counted the days. He marked the passing of time. He held on to something invisible, something steady, even when everything visible had been taken away. The angel steps closer. "And now," he says gently, "what was preserved will be restored." The air shifts. Before Noah, the light begins to form a circle, perfect, complete, glowing softly in the quiet space between heaven and earth. The calendar of heaven. It does not flicker. It does not change. It simply exists, steady, unbroken. "The year," the angel says, "is as it was in the beginning. 364 days, divided into 4 seasons, each in perfect balance." Noah listens, not with confusion, but with recognition. This is not new to him. This is something remembered, something carried through generations, passed down quietly, faithfully. "The Sabbaths remain," the angel continues, "fixed and unchanging. The appointed times remain as they were set, not moved by man, not altered by desire, but held within the order of heaven." Noah bows his head again, and this time tears fall, not of sorrow, but of relief. "I will teach it," he says softly. "I will not let it be forgotten." The angel's presence softens, as though touched by this quiet promise. Through you, it will continue. The sky above them begins to shift. Clouds gather lightly, not dark, not heavy, but forming a soft veil across the heavens. And then, a light breaks through. Color, gentle at first, then fuller, stretching across the sky in a wide and graceful arc. A rainbow. It does not flash or dazzle. It rests there, steady, like a bridge between what has been and what will be. "This is the covenant," the voice of God speaks, not loud, not distant, but near, like a whisper carried on the wind. "No longer will the earth be destroyed by flood." Noah falls forward, his hands pressing into the earth, his heart overwhelmed by the weight and beauty of the promise. The colors above shimmer softly, holding their place, a sign not only of mercy, but of memory. Time continues. Days pass, slowly, gently. The earth begins to breathe again. Small green shoots push through the soil, life returning in quiet ways. Animals move once more upon the land. The world is no longer empty. It is beginning again. And Noah watches and teaches. His sons gather around him, Shem, Ham, Japheth, listening as he speaks of the rhythm, the count of days, the pattern of weeks. He shows them the Sabbaths, the order of seasons, the flow of time as it was meant to be, not rushed, not controlled, but received, passed down like a flame, small, yet enduring. Moses watches this, his heart steady, his breath calm. He sees that even after judgment, even after loss, the rhythm was not destroyed. It remained, carried, remembered, restored. And yet, as the vision stretches forward, time moving beyond Noah, beyond his sons, something begins to shift once more. Not suddenly, not completely, but slowly. Some remember, and some forget. The rhythm continues, but quieter now, held by fewer hands, guarded by those who choose to remain faithful. The light softens. The vision begins to close. The mountain returns. The fire burns low, steady, patient. Moses sits in silence, the stylus resting in his hand, his heart filled with something deeper than understanding. Hope. Time had been broken, but it could be restored, not by force, not by power, but by faithfulness, by remembering, by choosing to walk once more in the rhythm that was given from the beginning. The angel stands beside him, calm and unchanging, and in the quiet of that sacred space, Moses begins to write. Breathe slowly now, and let the quiet carry you onward. The mountain remains, still and sacred, the fire glowing softly like a living ember that never fades. Moses sits in silence, his heart steady, his breath calm, as the memory of the flood gently settles within him. Not as chaos, but as a turning, a cleansing, a beginning again. The angel stands beside him, patient, watchful, and when he speaks, his voice is softer now, like a story carried across generations. Time moves forward, Moses, as it always does. But the rhythm must be remembered. The light shifts once more, not vast like creation, not empty like the flood, but filled with life, with movement, with the quiet hum of human existence. A city appears, ancient, strong, built of stone and fire-baked clay. Towers rise toward the sky, their tops crowned with altars. Smoke drifts upward in thin lines, carrying the scent of offerings, not to the Creator, but to the stars. This is the angel says gently. Moses watches as people move through its streets, busy, focused, their eyes often lifted toward the heavens, not in wonder, but in worship of what they see. They follow the moon. They measure by shifting lights. They count, but not in harmony. And among them, one man stands apart. Abraham, though not yet called by that name. He stands alone upon a rooftop, the night sky stretching endlessly above him. The stars shimmer, countless, distant, silent. But his eyes do not worship them. They search. There is a stillness in him, a quiet question that has not yet found its answer. Moses feels it, a longing, deep, steady, unshaken by the noise around him. He is listening, the angel says softly, even before he hears. The sounds of the city fade, becoming distant, unimportant. Abram remains, his face turned upward, his breath slow, his heart open. And then, a voice. Not loud, not overwhelming, but clear. Abram. He falls to his knees, not in fear, but in recognition, as though something within him has always known this moment would come. Yes, Lord, he whispers. The air around him grows still. Leave this place, the voice says. Leave your land, your people, your father's house, and go to the land I will show you. Abram does not question. He does not hesitate. Something within him aligns, like a key fitting perfectly into its place. I will go, he says, and with that, the journey begins. The vision moves, gently, like a river flowing forward. Abram walks across lands unknown, guided not by maps, not by stars, but by trust. Days pass, weeks, seasons. And though the world around him remains out of rhythm, something within him begins to change. He listens. He waits. He learns to move, not by urgency, but by timing. Divine timing. The angel appears to him, not in thunder, but in stillness, and in his hands, once more, the tablets of light. Abram kneels, his head bowed, his heart ready. You have left behind the ways of men, the angel says. Now, you will learn the rhythm of heaven. The air shifts. The circle appears again, perfect, unbroken. The year is 364 days, the angel continues, divided in perfect order, as it was in the beginning. Abram listens, not with confusion, but with recognition, as though something long forgotten is returning. The Sabbaths are fixed, the angel says. Each seventh day, a return, a rest, a remembrance. Abram breathes slowly. And the festivals? He asks quietly. The angel lifts his hand. Images form, soft, symbolic, filled with meaning. Passover, he says, a time of deliverance, though its fullness is yet to come. A lamb appears, gentle, still, waiting. The Feast of Weeks, the harvest, the first fruits offered in gratitude. Fields of grain, swaying, golden in the light. The Day of Atonement, a day of covering, of mercy, of return. Stillness, silence, a sacred pause, and the Feast of Tabernacles, a remembrance of the journey, a dwelling in gratitude beneath the open sky. Shelters, simple, filled with light. These are not merely days, the angel says softly. They are moments within the rhythm, markers of covenant, steps within the story of redemption. Abram bows his head deeply. I will keep them, he says, and I will teach them. The angel's presence warms like a quiet affirmation. Through you, the rhythm will continue. Time moves forward. Abram becomes Abraham. Years pass, but not in confusion, not in disorder. Each moment unfolds according to promise. And then, in a moment that seems both long-awaited and perfectly timed, a child is born. Isaac. Abraham holds him close, tears falling not from sorrow but from fulfillment. This, he whispers, is the promise. The angel's voice returns, soft, certain. He is born in the appointed time, in the year of Jubilee, the year of restoration. Moses watches, his heart full. Time, when aligned with heaven, does not rush, does not delay. It fulfills. Abraham teaches Isaac not only words, but rhythm. "My son," he says gently, "time is not ours to control. It is a gift to receive." Isaac listens, his eyes steady, his spirit open. "The world will follow its own ways," Abraham continues. "They will measure, they will adjust, they will change what should not be changed." He places his hand upon Isaac's shoulder. "But you, remember." The vision moves again. Isaac teaches Jacob. And Jacob, though he struggles, though he wanders, still carries the rhythm within him. Moses sees him in the night, wrestling not only with an angel but with himself, with destiny, with purpose. And when he rises, changed, marked, renamed, he continues. The rhythm passes from one to another, like a quiet flame that refuses to go out. Moses breathes slowly, deeply. He understands now. Not all will follow, not all will remember, but some will. A remnant, those who choose, not control, but surrender. The light softens. The vision begins to fade. The mountain returns, the fire steady, the air still. The angel stands beside him, calm, unwavering. "This is sacred timing, Moses," he says gently. "Not time as men count it, but time as God fulfills it." Moses lowers his head. "I understand." And he does. Time is not something to chase, not something to hold, but something to walk within, step by step, in trust. He lifts his stylus and he writes, as the fire on the mountain burns on and the rhythm of heaven continues, steady, patient, eternal, waiting to be remembered. Breathe slowly now, and let your mind drift even deeper. The mountain is still. The fire burns softly. And yet, something begins to change again. Not around Moses, but above him. The air grows lighter, thinner, as though the very boundary between earth and heaven is gently opening. The angel stands beside him, silent for a moment, then speaks, his voice carrying a quiet reverence, deeper than before. "Moses, what you are about to see is not only what has been, but what is and what will be." The light begins to rise, not outward, but upward, drawing Moses' awareness beyond the mountain, beyond the clouds, beyond the sky itself. It is as though he is being lifted, not in body, but in spirit, carried gently into a place where time no longer feels the same. The world below fades, and before him, something appears. At first, only light, pure, radiant, alive. Then, within that light, form begins to emerge. Shapes, vast, luminous, suspended in a space that has no boundary, no horizon, no end. "Moses," the angel whispers, "these are the heavenly tablets." Heavenly tablets. They're not like anything of the earth, not stone, not parchment, not something that can be held or carried. They are woven from light itself. Each tablet turns slowly, gently, like part of a great and endless movement. Their surface glows with writing, intricate, endless, flowing like living fire across their form. Moses feels his breath catch. He steps forward, slowly, his heart trembling, not with fear, but with awe so deep it silences every thought. "My Lord," he whispers. What is written here? The angel's voice is soft, but filled with something eternal. Everything. The word settles into the stillness, vast, complete. On these tablets, the angel continues, is written the history of the world, from the first moment of creation to the final moment when all things are made new. Moses looks closer. The writing moves, not randomly, but with purpose, each word unfolding into vision, each line becoming something seen, something lived. He sees the beginning, the breath of God entering the dust, Adam rising, the first heartbeat of humanity. He sees the garden, the stillness, the peace, and then the fall, the choice, the quiet breaking. He sees Cain standing over Abel, the earth receiving blood for the first time. He sees the watchers descending, their oath, their corruption. He sees the flood, the waters rising, the ark alone upon the deep. Each moment alive, each moment present. Moses feels something shift within him. This is not memory, he says softly. The angel nods. It is more. Moses looks again, deeper this time, and then he sees something that causes his breath to stop. He sees himself, a child, placed into a basket, carried upon the waters of the Nile. He sees the hands that lift him, the palace, the years of growing. He sees his own choices, his own steps, leading him to this very mountain. Moses steps back, his heart pounding. My Lord, he whispers, how can this be? These things, they have not all happened yet. The angel's gaze is steady, filled with a quiet understanding. To God, he says gently, there is no past and no future. Moses listens, his breath slowing again. All things exist before him at once. The words settle, not as something to fully understand, but something to rest within. What you call the future, the angel continues, is already known, already written, not because you are forced into it, but because God sees the path your heart will take. Moses lowers his gaze, absorbing the weight and the peace within it. So my life, he says quietly, it is written here. Yes, the angel replies, but not against your will. With it. The tablets continue to turn slowly, endlessly. Moses looks again, and now he sees something else. A pattern. Not just events, not just moments, but structure, time itself. The calendar appears, not as a concept, but as something alive, woven into the very fabric of these tablets. The perfect circle, the 364 days, the 52 weeks, the Sabbaths, the seasons, all inscribed, all unchanging. This, the angel says softly, is the rhythm of heaven, written before the world began. Moses watches, his heart steady now, no longer overwhelmed, but deeply aware. It is not created by man, the angel continues. It is part of creation itself. The light pulses gently. It began on the fourth day, when the lights were placed in the heavens, and it will continue until the end of all things. Moses breathes slowly. He sees now that time is not separate from creation. It is woven into it, a living rhythm, a divine order. But my Lord, he asks quietly, if this is written here, if it is so clear, Why do the nations not follow it? The light dims slightly, not in darkness, but in quiet truth. Because they choose not to, the angel says. They follow what they can control, what they can change, what they can claim as their own. The tablets continue their slow turning. But this, the angel gestures, cannot be changed. Moses nods slowly. It is fixed, eternal, beyond human reach. And your people, the angel continues, must learn this. The words carry weight now. They must walk in this rhythm, not as a burden, but as a blessing, a way to remain in step with the Creator. Moses feels the responsibility settle within him, not heavy, but firm. I will teach them, he says. The angel smiles gently. That is why you are here. Moses looks once more at the tablets, and then he sees someone, a figure standing at the center of it all, not written like the others, not unfolding like the rest, but constant, radiant, filled with a light that is deeper, warmer, more complete than anything else. Who is he? Moses whispers. The angel's voice softens, filled with reverence. He is the promised one. The promised one. Moses feels his breath catch. He is the fulfillment, the angel continues, the one in whom all time finds its meaning. The tablets seem to move around him, every moment pointing toward him, every rhythm leading to him. He will come, the angel says, in the fullness of time, when every week has been counted, when every cycle has reached its place. Moses watches, unable to look away. And when he comes, the angel continues, he will walk in the calendar of heaven. He will fulfill every appointed time, every festival, every Sabbath. The light around the figure glows brighter, yet remains gentle. Moses feels something deep within him, something like hope, like quiet certainty. The tablets begin to fade, slowly, gently, like stars disappearing at dawn. The light softens, the vastness recedes. The mountain returns. The fire burns low, steady, patient. The angel stands beside him, unchanged. Moses lowers his head, his heart full, his spirit quiet. He understands now, not everything, but enough. Time is not random. It is written, not as a chain, but as a path, a rhythm, a calling. He lifts his stylus, and he writes. As the fire on the mountain burns on and the heavenly rhythm continues, eternal, unchanging, waiting, always to be remembered. Breathe slowly now, and let the stillness remain. The vision of the heavenly tablets fades gently, like light withdrawing at the edge of dawn. What Moses has seen lingers within him, not as confusion, but as a quiet weight, a knowing that reaches beyond understanding. The mountain returns. The fire still burns, steady, patient, as it has from the beginning. The air is calm again, yet something has changed. There is a question now, forming slowly, rising from deep within Moses' heart. He lifts his head, his voice soft, almost hesitant. My Lord. The angel turns to him, his presence unchanged, yet his gaze now carries something deeper, something touched with sorrow. You have shown me the truth, Moses continues, the rhythm of heaven, the calendar, the tablets, the order of all things. He pauses, his breath slow. If this is so sacred, so clear, then why? His voice lowers. Why will it be hidden? The silence that follows is not empty. It is heavy, thoughtful, like the space before an answer that has been waiting a long time to be spoken. The angel does not answer immediately. Instead, the light shifts, not into the past as before, but forward, far forward. Moses, the angel says quietly, what you have written will not remain untouched. The air grows still. Before them, shapes begin to form, buildings vast and unfamiliar, rising in a land Moses does not know. Roads stretch like lines across the earth. Cities expand, filled with movement, power, and ambition. This is a kingdom that will come long after you, the angel continues. A kingdom that will seek not only to rule the earth, but to shape time itself. Moses watches, his heart steady yet alert. What is this place? He asks. The angel answers. Rome. Roman Empire. The name settles into the vision like a weight. Moses sees its rulers seated upon thrones, crowned, commanding armies, shaping laws. He sees its influence spreading across nations, across cultures, across generations. They will grow powerful, the angel says, and with power comes the desire to control. The vision shifts again. A great hall appears, vast, filled with men in long robes, gathered in discussion. Their voices rise and fall, some calm, some heated, their faces marked by conviction and tension. This is a council, the angel says, a gathering of leaders who will shape what many will believe. Moses watches carefully. What are they deciding? He asks. The angel's voice grows quieter. Many things, but among them, time. The men speak, their words overlapping, their hands gesturing, their voices firm. They will choose, the angel continues, to follow a different calendar. Moses feels a subtle shift in his chest. They will turn from the perfect rhythm, the 364 days, the fixed Sabbaths, the harmony of heaven. The vision shows a new system, numbers shifting, days added, adjustments made. A calendar of 365 days, the angel says, with changes, corrections, and control placed in human hands. Moses lowers his gaze slightly. They changed it, he whispers. The angel nods slowly. Yes. The light dins slightly, touched with sorrow. But why? Moses asks. Why would they abandon what was given by God? The angel turns to him, and now his voice carries a deeper weight, a truth that moves beyond time. Because the calendar of heaven requires something the world struggles to give. Moses listens, his breath slow. Submission. The word settles quietly, yet firmly. To follow the rhythm of heaven, the angel continues, is to admit that time does not belong to man, that it cannot be shaped, controlled, or claimed. The vision shows the leaders again, their decisions forming, their authority strengthening. But a calendar that can be adjusted, changed, governed, the angel says, gives power to those who hold it. Moses understands now, not fully, but enough. It becomes control, he says softly. Yes. The angel's voice is steady. Power over when people gather, when they rest, when they celebrate, when they remember. The vision shifts again. Now, scrolls are being written, texts being copied, lists being formed. The book you are writing, the angel says, will be questioned. Moses looks up sharply. Question. The angel nods. They will say it is not from you, that it is too strange, too detailed, too filled with things they do not wish to explain. The image sharpens. The Book of Jubilees, set aside, removed, labeled differently. They will call it Apocrypha. Book of Jubilees. Moses feels a quiet ache. But it is true, he says. The angel's gaze softens. Yes. A pause. But truth does not always remain where it is welcomed. The vision darkens slightly. Scrolls are hidden, carried away, tucked into places unseen, monasteries, caves, distant lands. They will try to silence it, the angel continues, not by destroying it completely, but by removing it from what is widely accepted. Moses watches, his heart heavy. They will not burn every word, but they will make it difficult to find. The silence deepens. But not all will forget, the angel says. The vision shifts once more. A new land appears, mountainous, ancient, filled with quiet devotion. This is Ethiopia, the angel says softly. Ethiopia. Moses sees priests, humble, devoted, reading from scrolls, preserving the text, passing it from one generation to another. In this place, the book will remain. The light warms slightly. It will be read, honored, remembered. Moses breathes slowly, relief touching his heart. So it is not lost. The angel shakes his head gently. It is never lost. A quiet pause. Only hidden. The vision shifts forward once more. Time passes, centuries unfolding like pages turning. A man appears, searching, traveling, uncovering something long forgotten. In a distant time, the angel says, it will be found again. Moses watches as the text is brought back, studied, translated, revealed. Those who seek will see. The mountain begins to return. The fire glows steady once more. The angel stands beside Moses, calm, unwavering. The truth cannot be destroyed, he says softly. It can only be forgotten. For a time. Moses lowers his head. I will write it, he says. His voice is no longer uncertain. It is steady. I will write everything, so that even if it is hidden, it will remain. The angel places his hand upon his shoulder. And it will. Moses lifts his stylus once more. The words come, not rushed, not forced, but steady, like the rhythm he now understands. As the fire on the mountain burns on, and the truth, though hidden, continues to wait, patient, eternal, ready, always, to be remembered. Breathe slowly now, and let the story carry you one step further. The mountain remains quiet, still. The fire glowing softly in the darkness. Moses sits in silence, his heart full of all he has seen. Creation, the garden, the fall, the flood, the covenant, the hidden truth, and the long journey of time unfolding. For a moment, everything is still. Then, he speaks. My Lord. His voice is gentle, thoughtful. You have shown me the beginning and the generations that followed, and even the future where this truth is hidden. He pauses, his breath slow. But what of the world at the end of that journey? What of the people who live when all of this is forgotten? The angel turns to him, and for the first time, there is a deeper sorrow in his eyes. Then watch, Moses. The light shifts again, not into the past, not into ancient lands, but into something unfamiliar, something distant, something fast. The vision opens. Moses sees a world unlike anything he has known. Great cities rise into the sky, towering structures of glass and steel, reflecting light in sharp, shifting angles. The night is no longer dark. It glows with artificial brightness, lights burning without rest, turning darkness into something restless, something incomplete. The air hums, not with wind, not with nature, but with movement, constant, unending. People walk quickly, their steps hurried, their eyes focused, not on the sky, not on the earth, but on small, glowing objects held in their hands. Their faces are lit from below, their expressions tense, distracted, distant. Moses watches, his heart uneasy. "What is this place?" he whispers. The angel answers quietly. "This is the world when the rhythm is forgotten." The words settle heavily. Moses sees more. Time is everywhere. Clocks, numbers, screens, counting every second, measuring every moment, dividing the day into smaller and smaller pieces. People move according to these numbers. They wake not with the sun, but with alarms. They rest not in rhythm, but when exhaustion overtakes them. They work endlessly, chasing something that never seems to arrive. "This is time, controlled by man," the angel says. Moses feels the difference immediately. This is not the gentle rhythm of creation. This is something else, something tight, something pressing, something that does not rest. He watches as people hurry through their days, always looking ahead, always thinking of what comes next, never fully present, never fully still. "They have lost the Sabbath," Moses says softly. The angel nods. "Not completely, but in many hearts, yes." The vision shifts. Moses sees families sitting together, yet not together. Their bodies are near, but their attention is elsewhere, drawn into invisible worlds, disconnected from one another and from the moment they are in. Meals pass without gratitude. Days pass without pause. Seasons change, barely noticed. "The festivals remain," the angel says, "but often without meaning, without rhythm, without connection." Moses feels a quiet sadness rise within him. They remember, but they do not understand. The angel's voice is gentle. "Yes." The vision moves again. Moses sees workers rising early, returning late, their bodies weary, their minds burdened. Days blend together, one after another, without distinction, without rest. "They have made themselves servants of time," Moses whispers. The angel looks at him. "Yes, but not of the time given by God, of time shaped by their own hands." The difference is clear now. One is a rhythm, the other a demand. Moses watches as calendars change, adjusted, modified, shaped by decisions, by systems, by convenience. Holidays move, days shift. Nothing is fixed, nothing is anchored. "Time has become fluid," the angel says, "not in freedom, but in confusion." The city grows louder, faster, more restless. Moses feels it pressing in, even from where he stands. "This is what happens," the angel continues, "when the rhythm of heaven is forgotten. A pause. Without it, there is no anchor. The vision slows slightly, and then something changes. Not everywhere, but in small places, quiet places. Moses sees a home, simple, warm, filled with soft light. A small group of people gathers together. There are no distractions, no rushing, no noise. A table is set. Bread is broken. A cup is shared. Their voices are calm, steady, filled with something peaceful. They remember, the angel says softly. Moses watches closely. These people are not many. They are not powerful. They are not seen by the world around them, but they are different. They rest. They pause. They mark time, not by urgency, but by meaning. The remnant, the angel says. Those who choose to walk differently. Moses feels something shift within him. Hope. The vision expands. He sees others scattered across the earth, different places, different lives, yet sharing the same quiet rhythm. Some keep the Sabbath from evening to evening, entering into stillness. Some mark sacred days, not for display, but for remembrance. Some simply choose to pause, to breathe, to step out of the endless flow of urgency. They are not perfect, the angel says, but they remember enough. The light softens. Moses breathes deeply. So it is not lost, he says again. The angel smiles gently. It never is. The vision shifts one final time. Moses sees a distant land, ancient, steady, holding something the world has forgotten. Ethiopia churches carved into stone, voices raised in prayer, traditions carried across generations. They still keep the rhythm, the angel says. Moses watches, his heart calm. Even now, even after so much time, the truth remains. Not everywhere, but enough. The vision begins to fade. The city lights dim, the noise softens, the movement slows, until it is all gone. The mountain returns. The fire burns low, steady, patient, as it always has. Moses sits in silence, his breath slow, his heart full. He understands now. Time is not the enemy, but forgetting is. To lose the rhythm is to lose the peace that comes with it. To remember, even in small ways, is to begin returning. The angel stands beside him, calm, unchanging. In every generation, he says softly, there will be those who forget and those who remember. Moses lowers his head. Then I will write, he says, so they can remember. The stylus moves once more, steady, guided, certain. As the fire on the mountain burns on, and the rhythm of heaven continues, quiet, patient, eternal, waiting, always, to be found again. Breathe slowly now, and let everything grow quiet. The mountain is still, the fire burns softly, and the story, with all its movement, all its rising and falling, now begins to settle. Like waves returning to a calm sea, like wind fading into silence, everything becomes gentle again. You have seen much. Creation in its beauty, the garden in its peace, the breaking, the forgetting, the wandering, and yet also the remembering, the returning, the quiet faithfulness that never fully disappears. Now, there is nothing more to see, only something to feel. Bring your attention back to your breath, slowly in and gently out. Let each breath become softer, deeper, more relaxed than the one before. There is no need to think about the story now, no need to hold on to every detail. Let it drift, like a dream that is no longer meant to be understood, only received. And in this quiet space, let a simple truth begin to settle within you. Time belongs to God, not to the world, not to pressure, not to the endless movement of things around you. Time is not something you must chase. It is something you are held within. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Feel that thought gently resting in your heart, like a soft light, steady, unchanging. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lost in time. You are here, in this moment, exactly where you are meant to be. Let that sink in, slowly. Breathe again. The rhythm you have heard, the rhythm of creation, the rhythm of heaven, is not far away from you. It is not hidden in a distant place. It is not something you must search for endlessly. It is already within you, in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the quiet rise and fall of your chest. Each breath you take is part of that rhythm. Each moment of stillness is a return. You are not separate from it. You are held inside it. Breathe slowly now. Rest here for a moment. If there are worries still lingering, let them soften. You do not need to solve them tonight. You do not need to carry them into sleep. Let them rest, just as you are resting. God is watching over you, not from a distance, but near, closer than you realize. Gentle, patient, steady. You are safe. You are not alone. Let those words settle, not as something you must prove, but as something you are allowed to receive. Now, imagine a quiet stillness surrounding you, like a soft night sky stretching endlessly above. No pressure, no noise, no urgency, only peace. In that stillness, there is no rushing, no counting, no fear of what comes next, only presence, only rest. Let your body grow heavier now, your shoulders sinking deeper, your arms loose, your hands still, your legs relaxed, your feet at rest, your whole body supported, held, safe. Breathe in and out. With each breath, you drift a little deeper, a little softer, a little closer to rest. Time slows here, not because it is stopped, but because you are no longer chasing it. You are simply resting within it. Let that feeling wrap around you like a gentle blanket. Warm, steady, peaceful. You do not need to strive to be at peace. Peace is already here. You only need to allow it. Breathe slowly now and listen quietly. God is not in a hurry, and neither are you. There is a rhythm, steady and eternal, that holds all things, including you. You do not need to understand it. You do not need to control it. You only need to rest in it. You are safe. You are held. You are guided, even in the moments you do not see clearly. Let your thoughts grow softer now, more distant, like whispers fading into the night. Your mind can rest. Your body can rest. Your soul can rest. If you feel yourself drifting, that is good. If your thoughts begin to blur, that is good. There is nothing to hold on to now. Only this quiet. Only this peace. Only this gentle rhythm carrying you forward, without effort, without strain. Breathe slowly and rest here. God is watching over you. You are safe. You are at peace. And you are exactly where you need to be. Let yourself drift now, deeper, softer, into rest, into stillness, into sleep, held gently within the rhythm of heaven. Breathe slowly now, and let everything become still. The mountain is quiet once more. The fire that once roared now glows gently, like a soft ember in the darkness. Steady, patient, unchanging. Moses has written, the words have been given, and the story with all its mystery and movement now comes to rest. And you are here, in this quiet moment. Let your breath slow again. In, gently, and out, softly. There is nothing left to follow, nothing left to hold on to. The story has done its work. It has carried you, step by step, through creation, through time, through loss and restoration, and now it gently releases you into peace. Let your body grow heavier, your shoulders sinking, your hands resting, your whole being soft and still. Now, in this quiet space, we turn inward, not to think, but to receive. Let us rest in a simple prayer. Lord, you who created time, who set the stars in their place, who formed the rhythm of days and seasons, we come to you now in stillness. We lay down every burden, every worry, every thought that has followed us into this night. You see it all, and you hold it gently. Bring peace now to every restless mind, to every tired body, to every heart that longs for stillness. Remind us, even as we sleep, that we are not lost in time, but held within your perfect rhythm. Guide our thoughts into quiet. Let your presence be near, soft, steady, unshaken. And as we rest, let your peace cover us like a calm and endless night. Let every breath draw us deeper into trust, deeper into surrender, deeper into rest. We release this day into your hands, and we receive the gift of sleep as something sacred, something given, something safe. In Jesus' loving name, amen. Breathe slowly now, and remain in that peace. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. No more thinking, no more striving, no more holding on. Just rest. May you feel a gentle calm surrounding you. May your body be fully at ease. May your mind grow quiet, like a still lake beneath the night sky. May you rest in Christ always. And if your thoughts begin to wander again, gently, softly, you may return here, to this place, to this feeling, to this quiet story that continues to hold you. Let us return once more to this peaceful story, not to follow it again, but to drift within it, like a soft current carrying you further into sleep. The mountain is still. The fire glows. The rhythm of heaven continues, steady, eternal, unbroken, and you are safely within it. Now, let yourself drift, deeper, softer, into rest, into stillness, into peaceful sleep.